Alright guys, what's up? I wanted to run through my bobber setups for Springer season. So, don't have heavy line. I'm running a 30-pound Addicted Enforcer braid down to a 12-pound leader, but I'm going to cut that off. And I did the double uni knot, but I'm going to cut that off. So, yep. That in the truck. Alright. Now the real question is, I was running this float, but this is really just made for creeks and small rivers. I would recommend if you do get into float fishing, don't buy these. These are a waste of money. They're from Walmart. Go buy yourself some beau drift floats or torpedoes. I'm gonna do 2 setups and see how that goes. All right, so I think first what I'm gonna do is a beau drift float on this one. I bought these little bobber stops. We'll see. Move some shit around so I have a roll on the bobber box. Here's a bobber box. Love using these. Also, guys, I'm not the best at tying the egg loop knot, so I went and picked up some P-line 3/0 egg loop hooks for salmon and steelhead. So this is my bobber box. I pretty much got bobber stops, my hooks, bait hooks, fucking bead hooks. And so let's get into this. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna make sure I don't have any other red eggs, so I don't. All right, so that's occasionally what it's gonna look like right here. I don't know if you guys can see. Get that propped up. You're gonna have your bobber stop to the bead right here. So that's all done. Now we're gonna get into the beau drift floats. All right, so now I got the drift float out. It's just this guy. It's all nice. So I'm gonna thread that on. These bobbers are super nice. They're a little pricey, but super nice. We're just gonna keep threading the line in there. Pause and come back. Okay, so now I got that. That's what the rig looks like. I got my bobber stop back down to my bobber bead. So that's, yep, that's what you want. And, you know, I was gonna run these, but we'll see if it makes a difference, because I'm probably just gonna run the same thing at the bottom too. And so, yeah. And I'll cut back and show you how that looks at the end. All right, so there it is. I got my 2 bobber stops down to my 2 beads right here. All right, now this is supposed to get me down to a strike zone. Now I'm gonna run these P-line 1 ounce bobber weights, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. All right, so now I just did a normal fisherman's knot, 7 wraps. Cut that tag end real quick. All right, guys, so now I got the P-line egg loop hook for bait, and it's not a very freaking long leader at all. It's about 42 inches, and that kind of sucks because it's not that long, but whatever. You know, once it maybe there's a point I get better at tying that knot, which who knows, I'll keep practicing. But I just thought, I don't really want to learn that right now. So I'm gonna get this tied on and I'll show you in a minute. All right, so there we are. We just did the normal fisherman's knot like we did up here. down to our 3/0. Not sure what hook this is. I normally like to run the Mustad hooks, but this is a 3/0. And I won't forget to barb these hooks because, you know, you have to do that up here. But that is one way to set up my bobber setup. So, yeah. All right, guys. So the rod I'm using is a Okuma Guide Select 9.9. I like having a longer rod for my bobber fishing when I'm off the shore, just because, you know, you're not on a boat, you're not in the middle of the river, you're from the shore, so you can kind of cast long. And I'm running it down to an Okuma Ecuador 4000 series reel with 30-pound addicted high-vis line. I would probably run a little more. This is all I bought, so yeah, so this is one way, and this is a perfect rod. The next rod I'd probably buy, if you're not looking to spend almost $200 on a rod, is an Okuma SST, or if you want to go the higher end, buy the Okuma X rod. That's the next rod I'm probably going to purchase by Okuma. They're a really good rod company and reel company, so yeah. All right, guys, so my next bobber rod, I only have 2 carbon fibers, and one's my bait caster model, which is right there. So the next rod, this is one of the first river rods I bought, is an Okuma Cielo. That's an 8.6 power medium action. You know, an 8.6 is perfect for a riverboat or shore. I mean, you don't have to go too long if you're not comfortable yet. I mean, it took me a while before I could cast a longer rod. And then this is kind of one of their lower end reels made by Okuma. It's called the Okuma Rocks. It's 4000 series. I like running that 4000 series because it gives me a little extra line. And yeah, so I'm going to show you another way of my bobbers, but it's going to be with the torpedo float. It's kind of the same way. I just re-rigged that Guide Select. And so, yeah, but this is going to be a bead setup for summer steel or winter steel.